Hello, welcome back to some 1954 replay baseball. So I've been revisiting some of my projects that I hadn't played in a while, and so this is one that I've gotten pretty far along in. This is game number 76. This one's a bit unusual in that it's not as played, and also quite a few of these games were played with payoff pitch. But I'm playing with replay today. I'm doing the Milwaukee Braves replay, and currently they are 44-31, a game and a half in first place. A few of these games were on the channel before, and so if you recall, the Cubs are in second place, playing very well and above their heads. The Giants, who actually won the division or the league this year, are struggling substantially, and the Dodgers, who are always good, aren't playing great either. So the Braves are taking advantage and making some hay. So as you can see there, the Reds are 36-40. The Redlegs are in seventh place behind Bertie Tebbetts. So like my strat game, the last strat game I played with my 1920 White Sox, this has been a long time since I've played this. So bear with me as I try to get back into the groove a little bit. So here we go. Warren Spahn, as you can see there, is 8-5 with a 336 so far. The Milwaukee Braves are my favorite team in history. However, for some reason, I have a hard time in any sim getting real good results out of Spahn. But he's not too far off from his real-life results. So in this one so far. So leading off for the Reds, Redlegs, will be Bobby Adams. You can see he's hitting .230 with a home run and 15 runs driven in. So that's a 6-2-1. So that's going to be a 53. And a 53 is a solid hit to right with a chance for extra bases. Get here, back. 6-2-1. So Pafko's speed, or Pafko in right field, his range is 3. So if it's above a 3, it's going to be a double. And it's a 1, so he's going to hold him to a single. So that's a leadoff single for Bobby Adams. He runs out of 4, and if I remember correctly, I think 1 through 5 is the range for speed. Let's see, I think I can show who's on. I thought I could show who was on base, but I can't. So we'll pick one here. We'll go with the game. All right. So again, playing with replay and single team, I have the benefit of a computer manager. So the computer manager will be Bertie Tebbetts, and I will be Charlie Grimm. So McMillan is up next. McMillan hitting .249. 2-6-1, and that's going to be a 57 with the raised number. 2-6-1. So with the ballpark effects, if he gets anything over a 56, it's going to be a single. So Bobby Thompson is playing left field today, and his range is 3. So a 36, so he was going to get to that one. So nice defense by Bobby Thompson. as Birdie Tebbage chose not to bunt with Rory McMillan. So that's 1 out. And that brings up Gus Bell, who's having a good year, 312, 11 home runs, 60 runs driven in. The Braves infield at halfway depth. 1-4-3. 1-4-3. That's going to be a 37 in the one column. That should be a ground ball to second base at halfway. Second to first. Second to first. We'll see what that means. 1-4-3. That is a ground ball to second place, and that's a 4-6-3 double play. So let's see. Second to first. Okay, so for the infield is back. He's out at first. The runners advance. If the infield was in, he gets the lead runner, or out at first. Lead runner holds. Runners advance to forced. Yeah, so getting back into the groove, but that's a 4-6-3 double play, as you can see there. So that'll do it for the Redlegs in the first. And keeping score as always, so bear with me. No runs, a hit, no errors. They don't leave anyone on. We go to the bottom of the first. Cincinnati nothing, Milwaukee coming to bat. So Gus Bell hit it hard, but right at Danny O'Connell. So on the mound for the Redlegs is Art Fowler. He is 6-8 with a 4.62 ERA. Leading off will be Jim Pendleton, who is playing for the injured Bill Bruton. Again, I'm not doing as played, so I am doing injuries. So Bill Bruton is injured for a bit. Pendleton hitting a robust 137 so far. Two, 3, 1. That's a 6, and that should be a strikeout. 2, 3, 1.
Strike 3, you're out.
So this game doesn't differentiate between called strike and swinging strike, so I probably could manufacture something if I thought hard enough about it. We'll just say he goes down swinging. 1 away. So Danny O'Connell, again, newly acquired from Pittsburgh. He's hitting 309, no home runs, 26 runs driven in. A nice 363 on base percentage, which is pretty good for your second place hitter. 5-4-5, 5-4-5. That's a 48. And that's going to be, with the bases empty, scores as a fly out to center field. If you had men on base, you would check the M column. So that should be a plain old fly out. 5-4-5. And it is, as Gus Bell patrolling out there, puts it away. So I'm trying to remember. I think in the outfield, that's one thing about replay that's a little confusing, is that the ratings are different. So, like, higher is better for one and lower is better for another one. So I'm trying to remember. I think infield low is good, outfield high is good. So it looks like, according to that, Bell is a 2, so that's not great for an outfielder. And they give Greengrass and Post a 3. I thought Bell was the better defender. Again, getting back into the groove, so bear with me. 2 out, nobody on for Eddie Matthews. He's hitting 264, 24 home runs, 61 runs driven in. So average is a little low, but he's having a good year power-wise. 2-4-4. That's a 19 on the 2 column. And that should be a fly ball to center field. Some of the there's a couple of results on the chart that's different than the computer. So, for some reason I was thinking that was one of them. But nope, that's fly ball to center field, and that's the end of the inning. So Art Fowler retires the Braves in order. We've played one inning here at beautiful County Stadium. No score. One of my favorite players of all time, Big Ted Kluszewski, scheduled up next, lefty versus lefty. So replay does have some lefty-righty results in it, not as much as some other games. You can see, like, for example, on 6-1, he has a better result against right-handers. Spahn, he's pretty straight up, and then there's one result, I think it's maybe 3-6, where that it's if they're the same sided, they're out. If it's the opposite side, it's a base hit. So again, some lefty-righty splits, and then some cards with the pitchers with a 6x6, they've actually got different results. So like a lefty who's really good against lefties will actually have a lefty section and a righty section. But at any rate, Kluszewski will lead off here in the second. 4-2-6. So that's to the second baseman. O'Connell is a 1, which is the best. So that's a 7 in the 4 column. That should be a plain old ground out. 4-2-6. And that it is. Nice defense by Danny O'Connell. And there's one away here in the second inning. This Reds team did have a very good offensive team. Their pitching was horrible, but they could hit the ball. So Jim Greengrass, left field, right-handed hitting left fielder. Say that 10 times real fast. Is having a good year. 295, 15 home runs, 46 runs driven in. 5-6-6. That's a 5. And that is going to be with runners on and first base open. So that should be a ground ball to third. 5-6-6. And that it is. Nice job by Eddie Matthews. And there's 2 away here in the second. For Johnny Temple, he's hitting .316, no home runs, 22 runs driven in, a nice .375 on base percentage, as you can see there. 2 out, nobody on. 4-2-5. So that's a 4. I was looking in the wrong column. 5-2-5. So that's the shortstop. Logan is a 2, so that's a 13 with the infield back. That's going to be a possible error. Logan has a 42, and as you know, that's a 2 6-sided die roll. So like 66, I believe, is the highest. So there's a decent chance he'll make an error here. So you roll all 3, because if you get a 6 and you do commit an error, that's going to make you a 2-base error. All right, so Logan trying to make the play, and he will. 2, 3, 4. So nice play by Johnny Logan to end the inning. 6 up, 6 down for the Redlegs. They did have a hit, but he was erased on a double play. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. So as you can see, I took the liberty to round my corners. Those of you who are replay fans may be terribly offended by that, and I wouldn't blame you. I don't know if I ever wanted to sell this set, if it will cost me much, but again, not a lot of resale value on these because, again, replay is really good about making them available for people. So I thought they looked better with the corners rounded. They're actually, oddly enough, the same size as an ATMA card, so they just have to be rounded, which really surprised me. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe just the way the card's laid out, but I always felt like they were not the same size, but they are. So, all right, Andy Pafko, Wisconsin native, will step into the plate here in the bottom of the second. He's hitting. He's actually having a rough year. I had forgotten about this. He's hitting .228, 4 home runs, 35, so the dice have not been good to him this year. I think he might have a good one here. 3, 3, 6, and that's going to be a 36, and that should be a double to left field. Runners advance 2 bases. There's nobody on, so that should just be a nice double to left. 3, 3, 6. That's over the head of Greengrass. Short hops the wall, and Pafko is in with a double. See, I don't remember how I checked to see which double of the year that is. I think I did the box score. Yeah, that's how I would check. So that's the 12th double for Pafko. I always like to put that in my scorebook. Pafko runs out of 3, so he has average speed. That brings up Big Joe Adcock, first baseman from Louisiana. He's having a very good year. He's hitting .318, 15 home runs, 66 runs driven in. Only struck out 28 times, .395 on base percentage. So Big Joe having a good year. So it looks like interestingly enough, Bertie Tebbetts, a la replay computer manager, has the corners in. So I don't think I plan on bunting for Adcock with Adcock. So we'll see if that backfires on him. Yep, missed the tower. 1-5-4. That's an 8. And that's an out. That's a pop out to short, looks like. 1-5-4. Pop out to third. So mighty swing. Adcock gets under it, and that's a big, big first out. Bobby Thompson getting the start today. Of course, this is Hank Aaron's rookie year. He's having a pretty good rookie year, but Thompson in real life was traded this year and broke his ankle in spring training. And as a result, Hank Aaron got his chance to play and never looked back. Bobby Thompson never did really regain his form that he had while with the Giants. Of course, we all know about the shot heard around the world in 1951. All right, 1 out. Thompson up. Fowler is a right-handed pitcher. Thompson a right-handed hitter. He's hitting .306 with a couple runs driven in and limited play so far. So he's playing pretty well when he gets a chance. 4-4-5. So that's the shortstop. McMillan is a 1. Very good defender, and that's a 2. So that probably will hold him up. Let's see, the infield is back. 5-2. Out at first, runners advance. Runner on second base holds on a ball hit to short. So, yep, that's a nice hard ground ball. McMillan will look Pafko back and fire on to retire Thompson for out number 2. So that's 4-4-5. 6-3 on the put out. Again, McMillan a fine fielder. Makes a fine play, and that brings it up to Johnny Logan. So far, Andy Pafko's leadoff double has got him no further than second. Johnny Logan hitting .307, 7 home runs, 41 runs driven in. Again, Pafko at second base. 5-1-1, and that's a 5 with runners on and first base open. That's a walk. So I believe Logan will draw a walk. Even though you heard the crack of a bat, that is indeed a walk. So that brings us to the captain of the team, Dale Crandall. Fine catcher for many years. He's hitting .218. He does have 15 bombs with 35 runs driven in. So he does have some pop. Righty versus righty. 2 out. Pafko at second with a 3. Johnny Logan at first base with a 3. So both with pretty good speed. Again, I think 5 is the highest. I could be wrong. 5, 6, 3. That's a 1, a 3 with a K. So a 3 is a ground ball to second. Let's see where the K comes in. If the pitcher has a K besides his column 5 grade, and the result is any out with runners on base, score the play as a strikeout. So if I read that correctly, that should be a strikeout. And it wasn't. So now I got to figure this out. 5, 6. Oh, that's a K on the batter. Okay, that's a letter beside the batter number indicates the following. If the batter reaches base safely, next base is open, you do the action chart. So, yeah, that I'm getting back into it, so bear with me. So, yeah, that's a ground ball to second. So, made that a lot harder than it needed to be. So, they get no hits, a run, leave 2 on. We've played 2 here at Milwaukee, no score. Warren Espahn back on the mound. So it's funny on how I position the cards, depending on what game it is. So because the blue die is last, and that's the pitcher, I put him kind of in sequence. Stratomatic, I do the batter up here and then the pitcher because it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Atba, I don't even have the pitcher out because I have it on my scorebook because you just need a letter grade. But it's interesting how that different games, I position the cards differently on my table. All right, Wally Post. He's hitting .242. He has 10 bombs with 31 runs driven in. All right. Wally Post got the bottom of the lineup up, as you can see. 1, 3, 5, and that'll be a strikeout. Of course, anything under a 6 in the first or second column is a strikeout.
Strike 3, you're out.
That's replay 101. Ed Bailey. He's hitting $113 in limited play. Lefty versus lefty. Not sure why the computer went with Ed Bailey. They've got Semenuk on the bench. I don't know, maybe he's hurt. Again, it's been a while since I've played this, so it's entirely possible that he's hurt. So I'm a little out of the loop here as to what's been going on. But it's fun revisiting it. 3, 5. I think that's going to be the rare play. 70 in the 3, I think. Uh, 70. Actually, that should be a pop out to first, if I'm reading it correctly. I thought that was the rare play. I know it's there somewhere. But it is a pop out to first. 1 out. Or actually 2 out. And that brings us Mr. Art Fowler. So these you can see, I had to print this off, so you get like the pitcher hitting cards, the real life ones, not just the generic ones. And so I got these off of the website. They're free. And then also some of the extra players that didn't play much. So I'm not doing as played, so I don't know that I needed those. And I've got it set that any pitcher who had 30 at-bats or more will use their real-life card. And Fowler had 60 at-bats, so he would qualify for that. So 2 out, nobody on. Art Fowler is hitting .053. Unlike Stratomatic, you can see what the pitchers are hitting. It's frustrating, their PC game. I don't know why after all these updates they wouldn't have fixed that. You think that would have been on a high priority, but at any rate. 2, 1, 2. That's a 52. So I don't know what that is. That could be crazy. 52 is a ground ball back to the mound. If the letter Y appears to the result, and there's no Y, so that should just be 52, a ground ball back to the pitcher. Let's see if that works out that way. Oh, yeah, I always ask you to confirm their batting, but yeah, that's ground ball to the pitcher. And so 9 up, 9 down. So Warney, Mr. Spahn pitching a good game against this heavy-hitting Cincinnati offense. We go to the bottom of the third, no score. So Warren Spahn will lead off here in the bottom of the third. Spahn had a 208 average and a home run, so he could hit a little. And his card, I think I had to print it too. Some of the pitcher hitting cards will actually be in the printed set, and I haven't figured out what the cutoff on that is, because sometimes I feel like they should be there and they're not, and then other ones they print. I think maybe it has something to do if they were used as a pinch hitter or pinch runner, maybe, perhaps. But anyway, Warren Spahn will lead off here in the third. 4-6-1, so that's down to the second baseman, Kluszewski, who is a 3. Not very good, but that's a 7 with the infield back. I still think that will be an out. 7, and that should be a ground out. 4-6-1, and that is so 3 unassisted, 1 away. Jim Pendleton, he struck out in the first. 6-5-1. That's going to be a 32 in the 6th column, and that should be a pop out to third. 6-5-1. And that it is. Bobby Adams waits for it to come down, and squeezes it with 2 hands as they did in those days for out number 2. Danny O'Connell, he flew out to Gus Bell in center field in his first at bat, so we got 2 out, nobody on. 3-4-2, 3-4. Maybe that's the rare play. I think it is. That's a 60. It is. So you will 1 die. If it's even, you use 53 to 57, which is the dribbler toward the mound. If it's odd, you go to the rare play. So let's enter that first. 3-4-2. All right. So it's even, but I think 6 might be the foul ground area. I could be thinking of something else. Again, been a while. So now it's a dribbler to the mound. So O'Connell's speed is 3. Anything higher than that, and he's out. And he beat it out. Infield single for O'Connell. He runs out of 3, so 2 out. That brings Eddie Matthews to the plate. Dangerous hitter. Left-handed third baseman, left-handed hitting third baseman. He flew out to end the first. 6, that might be good. 6-4, and that's a ballpark. Now, unfortunately, County Stadium is pretty stingy with homers. So that's a 2, and Art Fowler doesn't give up many, so that's going to be a 9. And then the ballpark, 6. See, 9. I think we have to roll. It's one thing I just haven't got my head around yet is the ballpark. So I usually let the computer figure that out, especially the doubles. All right, so it looks like he will need a 65 or a 66 to even think about a home run. He gets a 33. So that's going to be a single to left. With 2 outs, O'Connell will make it to third. So they have him on the corners with 2 outs. So the Braves with a 2-out rally. O'Connell runs out of 3 at third base. Matthew at first runs out of 4. So a little better speed than O'Connell, and that brings Andy Pafko, who hit his 12th double, to lead off the second, and that was as far as he got. So clutch hitting time here. Fowler trying to get out of this 2-out pickle. Pafko trying to continue to get out of his year-long slump. 3-6, and I think that might be the lefty-righty split, and if it is, he's righty versus righty. So I think that's a line out to short, but let's check it out here. 42, that's a 46 in the 3 column, and it is. So that's going to be so if he'd have been a lefty, that would have been a single, but as it is, should be a line out to McMillan. If I calculated properly, and I did. All right, well, they threaten. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave another 2 on. We've played 3, no score. I know I've done some experimenting with replay, the PC game, how to get it into my broadcast, and I kind of like this layout. I think it's nice and clean and gives you some information. If you all like it, let me know. I know I've looked at a couple of the past ones, and again, they weren't all as good, but I like this one. I think it looks nice and clean. But anyway, let me know what you think. All right, Warren Spahn here, top of the 4th. They've got the top of the lineup, Bobby Adams. He singled and was erased on a double play in the first. 2-5-3, and that's a 7. And that's going to be a foul out to the second baseman. So hit high down the right field line. 2-5-3. O'Connell will snag it in foul territory as he waves off Adcock. 1 away. 4. That brings us Roy McMillan. Roy, he flew out to Bobby Thompson, his first at bat. 2-6, and that's going to be a ballpark with the outfielder's range check. So that's a 58 on a 2. So that's a 58's a looping line drive. We got a 2 on the blue die, so that should be to the left fielder. He is a 3, and that's a 3. So the column 2, I think it has to be higher. So if I calculated right, anything over a 55 is a single. So let's see how I did. Trying to figure out these ballpark effects. Hey, how about that? I did it right. I figured that one out. So anything over a 55 is going to drop for a single. Here is the play, and he gets a 14, so nice play by Bobby Thompson with the shoestring catch. Two away for Gus Bell. He hit into a 4-6-3 double play to end the first. Lefty versus lefty. 6, that might be trouble. With the lefty, though, I think it would have been with a righty. So that's a 16, a 2, that's an 18, and that's a deep fly to left. So he hit it high, and he hit it long. But Bobby Thompson will take it at the warning track to end the inning. So for the 3rd inning in a row, they go in order. Again, they've, in a set since, gone in order. Bobby Adams had that leadoff single, but he was erased on a double play. So far, Warren Spahn has faced the minimum. We go to the home half of the 4th. Still no score. All right. 4, 5, and 6, or 5, 6, and 7 rather, scheduled for the Braves. As Art Fowler is pitching a good game himself. He was 12-10 with a 3.83 ERA, so he was actually not too bad, especially on this Cincinnati Reds club. Adcock popped out to 3rd in his first effort of the game. 2-5-3, that's a 19 on the 2. And that should be a fly ball to center field. I calculated properly. And that I did. Gus Bell with the put out, one away. Bobby Thompson, he grounded out to short in the second. 2-4, and that's going to be a strikeout. 2-4-3.
Strike 3, you're out.
Fowler with the gas. You see, that's his second strikeout of the day. So quickly 2 away for Johnny Logan, who walked. It was his 27th walk of the year. The only walk Fowler has issued today. So 2 out, nobody on. Righty versus righty. 5, 5, 7. That's a 9 on the 5 column, and that'll be a walk. So Johnny Logan has received both walks.
Ball 4.
That gives us Del Crandall. Logan runs out of 3. He's at first. 2 out. Del Crandall grounded out to second base to end the second. Here is the delivery from Fowler. 6-3, 31-6. It's a 35, and that is a short fly to left field. 6-3-6. Greengrass coming on. He makes the play, and that'll do it for the Braves in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave one runner on. They've left 5 on so far, so Fowler doing a good job of stranding runners. We go to the top of the 5th. No score. This is Saturday, June the 3rd, 1954. The second year Milwaukee was in, or the Braves were in Milwaukee. 4, 5, 6 scheduled for the Reds. All right, Big Ted Kluszewski, lefty versus lefty. I know I've played these two teams quite a bit in various sims, and Kluszewski has been hard on Spawn. Of course, Kluszewski was hard on a lot of people. 5-5. That's a 41 on the 5. And he's going to get plunked. So if you're Spawn, you want to make sure that Kluszewski feels like that was an accident. I will say that replay has the best or worst, depending on how you want to look at it, hit by pitch sound. In fact, I think they've got the only one that I know of, but it sounds bad. Realistic. But anyway, Kluszewski gets plunked. He is a 2-speed, so he's not great speed. The Braves will play at double play depth, and Jim Greengrass, who grounded out to Matthews, will take his place in the right-handed batter's box. Spawn would like another ground ball to Matthews. It would be a good thing right now for the Braves. 5-1-2. That's a 5. So that should be a ground ball to third. Out at second. Others advance. If first base was open, that'd have been a walk, but that should be a 5-4 fielder's choice, if I am looking at it correctly. How about that? He got that ground ball to third like he wanted. Didn't hit it quite hard enough to get the double play, but they'll take the fielder's choice. Greengrass runs out of 2 as well, so 1 out. Greengrass on first base. Johnny Temple, second baseman, will step into the right-handed batter's box. He grounded out to short to end the second inning. Here is the pitch from Spani. 3-6. I think that's the lefty-righty thing, and if it is, that's going to be a single. 3-6-4. That's a 44. It is. And so single to left, runners advance 2 bases. a first or a second speed on first will stop at second. So Greengrass is indeed a 2. So he should stop at second. So there the generic lefty-righty splits come into play. 3, 6, 4. All right, so single to left. Greengrass holds up at second. As the Reds are mounting their first rally of the game. That's their first base hit since the first. So Temple at first has much better speed with a 4. Unfortunately, Greengrass in front of him at second base still has that 2. And that brings Wally Post to the plate. He struck out to start the third. That's the only strikeout for Warren today. So again, Braves at double play depth. 1 out, runners on first and second. 6-3-6, that's a 20 in the 6th column. And that's a deep fly ball to right. Any runner scores from third with less than 2 outs. Any runner on second tags up and moves to third. So Post gives it a long ride. 6-3-6. Andy Pafko will chase it down. And deep into the right center field gap. Greengrass, with his 2 speed and all, will make it to third on the tag up. So fly out 9, out number 2, and that brings us Ed Bailey. We got runners on first and third, 2 out. Ed Bailey popped out to Adcock in the 3rd inning. 3-5. I think that's the rare play. 3-5. That's a 70. Oh, no, it's not. 3-5 is a 68 and a 69. That should be another pop out to first. 3-5-2. And that it is. So for the second time in a row, Ed Bailey pops out to Adcock, and Spahn avoids any damage as they get no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave 2 runners on. We go to the home half of the 5th, still knotted at nothing. 9, 1, and 2 scheduled for the Braves here in the 4th, the 5th that is. Spahn grounded out to Kluszewski in his first at bat. 5-2-3. That's a 29 in the 5 column, and that should be a fly ball to center field. 5-2-3. And that it is, 1 away. As Gus Bell flags it down with no problems. Jim Pendleton, he's 0 for 2. His average is not getting any better at 132. 3, 5, 4. So that's a 6 in the 3 column, and that's going to be a short fly ball to center field. Bell having to charge this one toward the infield. Same result, out number 2. Danny O'Connell, he's got an infield single and 2 at bats. 2 out, nobody on. Still no score. 5-3-3. So that's a 6, and that's going to be a walk. So walk number 3. The first one not given up to Logan. So you don't want to walk anybody ahead of Eddie Matthews. So Eddie Matthews is singled and flied out. O'Connell at first base runs at a 3. Average speed. Here is Fowler trying not to make a mistake to Matthews. 5-6-5. That's going to be an 8. And that looks like that's going to be another walk. 5-6-5. Fowler hitting a wild spell. O'Connell runs at a 3. Eddie Matthews a 4. Runners on first and second. Andy Pafko has a double and lined out to short. Fowler has pretty good control. His average is a 2 in the 5 column. But losing it a little bit today, so Pafko with a chance to do some damage here. 5, 5, 5. That's going to be an 18 in the 5 column. And that's going to be an infield single. Runners advance 1 base, and then we check the M column for possible craziness. So an infield hit for Pafko. So he grounds that down to Adams. And Adams is just able to get to it and throws on to first. Not in time. So let's see what craziness we have on the M chart. So it looks like we roll a 12 here. Let's see what we're going to check. So a 10, that's going to be a pass ball check. Ed Bailey's rating is a 2, so anything over a 2 is going to be a pass ball. So he's not a great pass ball rating. And that's a 6, so that one's going to get by him. And the runners score. So O'Connell will score. Eddie Matthews will make it to third on the play. Pass ball by Ed Bailey. Pafko will make it to second, of course. So we got second and third, still 2 out. And Joe Adcock at the plate still. Adcock is 0 for 2 today. Matthews runs at a 4, is at third base. Pafko runs at a 3, is at second. 2 out. 5, 4, 3. That's a 47. And that should be, with bases empty, scores a fly out. With men on base, check the M's chart. Okay, so we got action on the base paths again. More M chart craziness. So let's see what we're checking this time. 12 is a possible pickoff. How about that? I forget what that checks. So that's against the pitcher's hold rating. His hold rating is 5. So anything but a 5, and he is going to pick off somebody. I don't know who. He gets a 6, so how about that? So the lead runner, that would be Eddie Matthews, just about within a hair of getting picked off, but he slides in and is called safe. So how about that? So Joe Adcock will get in the batter's box once again. All kinds of base running craziness this at bat. 2, 3, 1, and that's going to be a 19 in the 2 column. That should be a fly ball to center field. 2, 3, 1. And it is. Bell will catch it to retire the side, and that'll do it for the Braves in the 5th. They do get a run on 1 base hit. No errors. They leave 2 runners on. We have played 5, and Milwaukee is on the board, leading 1-0. So we'll see what Warren Spahn can do with this lead, as he'll start off with Fowler, the pitcher. I imagine they won't pitch hit for him this early with a 1-0. Yep, they're going to let him hit. So we'll go with that. Oop. I got to undo that one if I can. I hit the wrong button. Let's see if it'll let me undo it. No, it's not going to. Well, Dad, burn it. I mean, I guess that's the same as a dice roll, but. So let's see what happened. Ground out 6-3. So again, that's the same as a dice roll. I hate it when it does that, but for some reason it's not letting me erase it. I'll have to check those settings. Anyway, so Fowler grounds out 6-3. That brings us Bobby Adams to the plate. That's one thing about different games. You learn how to enter the results and things differently, and so sometimes when you hit enter, you don't want enter, whereas that's what you normally do, on like Strat, for example. So, but at any rate, that's still a random result. So, all right. So we got Bobby Adams with 1 out. He is singled and fouled out to O'Connell. 1-5-1. That's a 7. That is going to be popped up on the infield. O'Connell will wave everyone off and take it for out number 2. Two away for McMillan. He is flied out to Bobby Thompson twice in left field. Missed the tower. 3-6, and I think that's I believe that's the lefty-righty, and if it is, he's got a single because Spahn is a lefty and McMillan is a righty. So 42, that's a 44. Yep, that is indeed going to be a single. 3-6-4. Base hit number 3 of the day for the Redlegs. Some 2 out action here for the Reds. McMillan runs out of 3. We would have liked to have got McMillan and faced Bell, Klazuski, and Greengrass with nobody on, but it is what it is. So Bell is hit into a double play and flied out to left. 1-2-2. That's a 37. And that should be a ground ball to second. 1-2-2. And it is. So nice job by Spahn as he gets Gus Bell to ground out to O'Connell. So they get no runs on a hit, no errors. They leave 1 runner on. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Milwaukee Braves 1, Cincinnati Reds nothing. 6, 7, and 8 scheduled up for the Braves here in their half of the 6th. Art Fowler, 31-year-old right-handed pitcher, will take the mound. Bobby Thompson is 0 for 2. His average has dropped to 289. 4-6, 4. So that's the shortstop. McMillan is a 1, and he rolled a 1, so that's going to be an easy ground ball. Played handily by McMillan. He fires on and gets Thompson by 3 steps and a half. Johnny Logan, he's walked twice to get his on-base percentage up to 370. 2-5-1. That's a 19 in the 2 column. That should be a fly ball out to Gus Bell. And that it is, out number 2. Dell Crandall, he's 0 for 2. So, 6-6-6. That's not good for Mr. Fowler. That's a 15, and that should be long gone. So, Crandall cranks that one high and deep. No doubt about that one. So Crandall increases the lead to 2. That's home run number 16 of the season for Crandall. Fowler hung a curve, and Crandall just launched it into the left field stands. 2 out. Warren Spahn. Score now 2-0 Milwaukee. 3-3-2. So that's a 7 with the ballpark thing going on there. So let's see. On the 3, he got a 5. So I think anything, it has to be over a 64 to be a hit. See how I did on the 3 column. 3-3-2. Yep, how about that? I got the last two, so he needs a 64 or higher. And he gets a 15, so that's going to be actually a little number in front of the plate. Bailey out from behind the plate will scoop it up and throw him out to end the inning. But the Braves get a run on a hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the seventh. It is now 2-0 Milwaukee Braves. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Redlegs. Heart of the Redleg order. Kluszewski is grounded out and was plunked. I imagine Spahn doesn't want to do that again. And that's going to be a base hit. That's a 13. That's a single to left. So Kluszewski slaps it the other way. Base hit number 4 of the game for the Reds. Leadoff single here in the 7th. Kluszewski again runs out of 2, so not great speed. The Braves will be at double play depth. Greengrass is 0 for 2. Hitting to a fielder's choice. It's actually grounded to Matthews twice. 5, 4, 2. So that's going to be a 2 in the 5 column. It should be a ground ball to first with the infield halfway, out at second. Others advance. So that should be a 3-6 fielder's choice, if I calculated correctly. And it is. So ground ball down to Adcock. He fires it to Logan, but that's all they'll get as Greengrass hustles down the line. Hit the ball to the other side of the infield this time at least. All right, and then we also got the K. So we got to see the K. Let's see, that's on the action chart. K. I'll let the computer do this one. It's a steal, and I don't think Greengrass is that great. No, he's not. So looks like he's going to be maybe if he gets there's a wild pitch option and a balk option, so he might luck out. He got the balk option, so let's see if I don't think that's automatic. So his balk rating is 4, so a 5 or a 6 is going to be a balk. And he gets a 5, so how about that? Huh. Let me put in the balk. Oh, there it goes. All right, so Greengrass balks to second. Warren Spahn with the balk. So Johnny Temple has a runner in scoring position. He is 1 for 2 today. Greengrass at second runs out of 2, so not great speed out there. 1-6, that's usually a strikeout. 47, unless there's somebody on base. Or a comebacker to the pitcher. If they're playing halfway, which they're not, score this as a ground ball back to the pitcher. All right, so I think the only way that's going to be a ground ball to the pitcher is if they're halfway, and again they're back because there's no force. So I think that's going to be a strikeout. Hey. Warren Spahn with a nice changeup, gets Temple out in front. Big second out of the inning. That's the second strikeout today for Spahn. That brings up Wally Post. Wally Post is 0 for 2 today. 1-5, and that's going to be a whiff. So how about that? Warren Spahn. Warren Spahn keeping some in reserves as he strikes out the last 2 batters in the 7th, and that brings us to the 7th inning stretch. I don't do the music on this one because I think this one is copyrighted. because I get dinged when I do it, so I think that's what's copyrighted. So, and I'm not going to sing for you. You wouldn't enjoy that even a little bit. So we'll just have to pretend there was a 7th inning stretch. Actually, I wonder, I might have one. No, I don't. No. All right. Okay, we'll just have to imagine on this one. So we got the top of the lineup scheduled for the Braves here in the 7th. Pendleton is 0 for 3. Art Fowler still on the mound. 4-1-3. That's the third baseman. Adams is a 2. That's a 5. It should be a routine grounder. 4-1-3. It is, and let's see. They're going to check his boost check, and his 5 is higher than his complete game rating of 2, so his batter's face is increased by 10. So that's a handy calculation that the game does for me. I probably could do that on my own, but it's nice that they did it. So Fowler with 10 more batters to his gas tank. It was Danny O'Connell, his infield single, walked and scored on a pass ball in the 5th. 6-3-3. That's a 32. That should be a pop out to third. That it is. Adams calls for it and takes it for out number 2. Eddie Matthews is singled and walked today. Two, 4, 4. That's a 19 in the 2 column, and that should be a high fly ball out to center field. 2, 4, 4. And Bell will wait for it to come down, and that'll do it as the Braves go in order. So Art Fowler got a bit in his tank left as well. As the Braves go in order, we go to the 8th. Still 2-0 Milwaukee. Got 8, 9, and 1. So they probably are going to pitch hit here for Fowler. We'll see. Bailey's 0 for 2. 4-2-2. That's the second baseman. O'Connell that's a 12. So that's an error check. He's a 51. So I think the higher the better. I think the higher the better. So 51 should be good. But you never know how the dice will roll. Yep, so anything over a 51 is an error. And hit 2-6-2. He makes a fine play. 1 away. That brings us Art Fowler. Let's see if I have to roll before it'll let me see if he's going to hit or not. So 1-5-5 is a 6. So that's a strikeout if he does hit. Yep, they're going to let him hit. I don't know what their bullpen looks like, so it could be that they are needing him to get some more innings. So anyway, 2 outs. Bobby Adams is 1 for 3. 1-4-5, and that's a 7, and that should be a pop out to second base. That it is. So they go in order in the 8th. We go to the home half of the 8th. Braves up by 2. Good game. It's been enjoyable. Got 4, 5, and 6 scheduled up for Milwaukee. Indy Pafko has got 2 hits today, so he's improved his average to 232. Again, he's struggled all year long. 4-2-3. That's to the third baseman. Adams is a 2. That's a 5, so that should be a routine grounder. And that it is. 1 away. Joe Adcock. He's 0 for 3 today. Still having a fine year. 3-4. I think that's the rare play. Opportunity. It is, so even is rare 5, so that's the rare playbook. So I'll go ahead and let the computer tell us what happened. 42. All right, so pitcher comes off the mound to field the ball and fires to first, but the throw is off target. Can the first baseman's defense save the day? So Kluszewski is a 3. Anything over a 3 is an out. Anything under a 3 will be an error throwing on the pitcher. And that's a 2, so that's going to be an error. So that's E1. As Kluszewski is not able to save Fowler's Bacon. So that'll put Adcock on first base. With 1 out, he runs at a 2. The Reds obviously at double play depth for Bobby Thompson, who is 0 for 3 today. Righty versus righty. 2-1, 23-26. That's going to be a ground ball to third. Runners advance 1 base, but I think that's going to be a 4-game injury for Thompson. 2-1-2. It is. So Adcock will go to second. Thompson is retired 5-3 on the putout. So that's 2 out, and then replay, their injuries don't start till the next game. So Bobby Thompson will be out for 4 games after this one. All right, 2 out. Adcock, who runs at a 2 on second base. Johnny Logan has walked twice and flied out. 2 out, looking to get another insurance run. Would not be bad. And I think he might have done it. That's an 11. We got a 5. That's a 15. That's going to be a single to right. Runner on advances 1 base with 2 outs. The runner on second scores, and there is indeed 2 outs. So Johnny Logan with a clutch base hit. So Post throws home, not in time to get the runner, and Logan will advance to second on the play. So that'll be an unearned run, but a run nonetheless. So a single. And he goes on the throw. So Logan's on second. He runs at a 3. That brings Del Crandall to the plate. He hit his 16th home run of the season back in the 6th. That's a 10-13 on a 1. That's a single up the middle. Runners advance 1 base. Runners with a 4 or 5 speed advance 2 bases with 2 outs. All runners advance 2 bases. So that'll be an RBI single. Ooh. I hit the wrong button, so it gave him a single, but it wasn't an automatic 2. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. 7, he's going to hold, so that's not going to be. All right, so he actually will just make it to third. And that brings Warren Spahn to the plate with runners on the corner. Next time I'm going to figure out how to make sure I have that option to undo. All right, so that brings Spahn up. So still 3-0. So Reds catch a break there due to user error. He's 0 for 3 today. 2, 5, 3, and that's an 8. That should be a foul out to the third baseman. 5-3, and that it is. So the Braves do get a run on 2 base hits, 1 error. They leave 2 runners on. We go to the top of the 9th. It is 3-0 Milwaukee. So Spahn trying to get the shutout. He's got 2, 3, and 4 scheduled up, so he's got his work cut out for him. Rory McMillan will lead off. He is 1 for 3 today. 2-6, so that's going to be out to left field. Oh, no, actually 5 is going to be to right field, I believe. Yep, so Pafko is a 3 out there, and we'll let the computer do the ballpark thing. 6-5. So anything over a 56 is going to drop for a hit. And he gets a 14, so nice defensive play by Pafko in right field, and that's a big out. You don't want McMillan on base with Bell, Kluszewski, and Greengrass coming up. So that brings up Bell is 0 for 3 today, however, so Spahn done a good job with him so far. 5-1-6. That's a 7, and that's going to be a walk. 5-1-6.
Ball 4. Take your base.
That's the first walk that Spahn has issued today. Big Ted Kluszewski. He's singled, hit by a pitch, and grounded out to second. Bell runs out of 4, so he has very good speed. The Braves at halfway for the double play. 6-1. Oh, that's where a lefty's going to hurt him. A righty would have been bad. So he got an 18, and that's going to be a high, deep drive to left field. Any runner scores from third, so he should hold him at first. 6-1-2. Yep, deep fly to left. Thompson will get it at the track, at the wall, makes the play. So again, if Spahn wasn't a lefty, that would have been a pretty sure home run. So 2 out. Jim Greengrass, last chance saloon here for the Red Legs. That could be trouble. 6-2-3. That's an 11. So that's a single with a possible home run. Again, we got the ballpark there as well. County Stadium is stingy. 6-2-3. Let's see how it calculates. So he needs a 64 to even have a possibility of a home run. Oh, he gets a 66. How do you like that? 64 is a single with a possible home run. 65 is a possible home run. 66 is a home run. So Jim Greengrass takes it deep. So that's home run number 16 of the year for Jim Greengrass. And the Reds are making it interesting. 2-run bomb. So that brings up Johnny Temple. Charlie Grimm's going to hang with his ace lefty here. Temple's 1 for 3. Deficit down to 1. 2 out. 2-3-3, and that should be a strikeout. And that it is. So they get 2 runs on 1 base hit, no errors, nobody left, and that is the ball game. At least it should be. All right, let me see if I can get you the screen here. Hold on a sec. Let's do window capture. We'll call this box score. Okay. All right. Okay, so there you can see, should be able to see what I see. So Warren Spahn gets the win, an exciting one, 9-5. Art Fowler with the loss goes to 6-9. So there you have it from beautiful Milwaukee County Stadium. The Braves, and let's see if I can see the box score. Yeah, there you go. So you can pause that if you're interested and want to peruse that. But the Braves go to 45-31, still in first place. Reds fall to 36-41. So that was very enjoyable. I haven't played replay in a long time, and I had a lot of fun. That was a good game, and it played really smooth, especially for me not playing in a while. So anyway, I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you next time.